Okay. Well, first thing is I don't recommend the red one. You see, you bought this red one. Um,
Okay.
because well, what do you build? What's your mythic? Can you just tell me this game?
Oh, that doesn't change. That's always Stride Breaker. I like that.
Yeah, okay, I definitely agree. Strikebreaker is his best item. So, you know what Strikebreaker does? It gives you a slow, like it slows
Yeah.
the enemy. And then you know what the red item does? It also slows the enemy.
Okay, so
Uh,
it's overkill.
and then no, not only overkill. It's like slows they don't stack. So if you use two slows on the enemy, only the strongest slow applies. Like they don't stack at all. So yeah, in that instance, it is overkill. Um,
Yeah.
and not only that, you know when your smite upgrades, the 900 damage smite, if you use that on champions, it also slows the champions, right? So um, as Nocturne, you already have two slows. This red one, you don't really need the third slow.
Okay.
I mean, it does also give you extra damage, like the red jungle item, but the damage is pretty negligible. Like it's not a lot of damage. Um, so generally, you want to go red for the slow. Like if you're thinking about using red, think about it for the slow. And then again, like I said, Nocturne doesn't need red because he goes Strikebreaker. If you decide, I don't recommend it, but if you decide to go like Duskblade or something, then maybe. Then maybe. I mean, even Duskblade has a slow, but Duskblade's slow is like less than a second or something. But yeah, or Eclipse. Some Nocturnes go Eclipse. So if you decide to go like Eclipse, then the red one's okay. But yeah, because you go Stride, and I like Stride as well. So I would usually go like the green one. The green one's pretty good here because you know what the green one does. This one over here.
No, I don't actually. I haven't got a clue.
Okay, it gives you a shield, and it gives you a bigger shield than the damage red would give you. So like in a 1v1, like I'll say if you fight a jungler with like right now, if you have red, he has green. If you guys fight each other, his gives him more stats, if that makes sense. Like his green one gives
Yeah.
him a bigger shield than your red one would do damage. Like if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
just efficiency wise, green is better, right? Obviously, it depends what you want to do, but green is good for Nocturne because the shield is good because usually you're gonna ult into the enemy, right? And when you ult into the enemy, usually you ult on like the AD carry or something. Usually you ult in the back, and if they see you, right, they usually you're usually alone. I mean, you do have teammates to help you, but oftentimes Nocturne is alone, or um, you can say like you are in the front line. You are like taking all the damage when you go in because if that makes sense, you're in them. You're in their
Yeah.
face, right? You're the immediate threat to the enemy. They're gonna if they see you, they're gonna try to hit you. So having this shield is pretty useful. Um, the second thing green does is it gives you tenacity. Tenacity. So look at all the CC on their team. Urgot has a stun and a slow. Viego has a stun and a slow.
Yeah.
Vex has a fear. Zaya has a root. Xerath has a stun and a slow. There's a lot of CC here, so having this green one would help you with that little bit of tenacity. I think it's like 20%. 20% tenacity and slow resist. 20% tenacity and slow resist. So green would be. I would definitely recommend green in this game. But
Okay, bro.
yeah, so it's just items. Okay, so you're right now you're Iron One, right? So I usually ask my lower elo clients, do you know what all 10 champions in this game do?
Yeah, that's why I did focus quite a lot on ARAM. Maybe my brother was playing it, but there's so many champions that I hadn't seen. So just to play as in a bit of a less competitive way. So yeah, I do understand most champions. There's a few
Okay,
that I'm not too sure on, but the ones in this game, yeah, I do know these guys.
okay, that's really good because that's actually like one of the biggest difficulties of like learning this game. You know, because there's like 100 plus champions, like so, and each has four abilities. So, if you do know that, that's the first step. So you do know that, that's good. We don't need to talk about it. Okay. Then the second thing is, if you watch my videos, you probably know. We need to make a game plan. So, like, what's your game plan? Like, should you start red? Should you start blue? Do you know? Do you know? Did you make a game plan this game?
I haven't, and I only found your videos today, and I found that quite interesting. Just by standard, I'd go down to where you're pointing now, just absolutely standard with no thought. But
Standard. I'm guessing a standard is you start blue and you full clear up. That's the standard, right?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, the standard is especially for Nocturne. Nocturne's not too what do you call it? He doesn't have that many options because usually he wants level 6. So the best way to get level 6 usually is just full clear. But you know, you could choose: do I want to start blue full clear up, or you can also start red and full clear down. So let's make a plan this game, okay? So the way we make a plan is we look at the matchups. You are Nocturne versus Viego. How do you understand this matchup? Nocturne versus Viego.
It's fairly head to head. I don't think that he would bully me. I mean, he can get away a lot better. His movement's phenomenal, isn't it? He can get around the map.
Yeah.
But if it's a fight, then I think Nocturne wins, doesn't he?
Yeah, you're correct in everything you said.
Other than like Jax and Hecarim, I find them to be fairly straightforward when it comes to jungles.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, you should know. You already. I think you. It seems like you know that one of Nocturne's biggest strengths actually is his 1v1 power. Even before level 6, he's very, very strong because you just get so many stats, right? The Q gives him AD. The W, you can block something, and you get attack speed. And the E, if you get the E off, it's really good for 1v1s. Nocturne is really designed well for 1v1s. So, there are a lot of farming junglers that don't fight well, but Nocturne is not one of them. Nocturne is a farming jungler, but he's also really good at 1v1s. So you beat Viego for sure, 1v1 at least.
Yeah.
And then you were also correct in saying like, well, Viego's more mobile than you. Yeah, he's more mobile than you, so he can move around faster. He can run away from you if he wants. Yes.
Yeah,
that's good. So that's actually important to know, though. Nocturne is stronger than Viego because that means you have one option available to you in the early game. I mean, normally you have your default is full clear. That's one option, but you have another option which is invading. So it's usually the stronger jungler invades the weaker jungler. So in this game, you are the stronger jungler. So you have the option of invading Viego. I'll give you an example. So usually if you invade, you want to start red buff because red buff gives you combat power, right? Red buff gives you damage and a slow and health regen. That's three things that give you combat power. Blue buff, it gives you cooldown, which is combat power, but it's not that good compared to the damage from red. And then blue buff gives you mana regen, which you don't care about mana regen as a jungler because your jungle item gives you a bunch of mana. So red buff gives you health regen, much more useful as if you're planning to fight, invading. So if you're invading, usually you want to start red buff, and you can do a simple path like red buff, Krugs, Raptors. Then you'll be level 3, and then after that you invade. So you can invade his blue, you can invade his red. So it depends where he starts. Do you know how to tell where Viego starts?
Not without peeking, no.
Not without peeking? Okay, so it's a concept you can use every game. Every game you can use this concept is, when you start blue buff, your bot lane leashes you, right?
Yeah.
And your top lane does not leash you. So usually at the beginning of the game, Jax will show here first, and your bot lane will come to bot lane later, right?
Yeah.
So that's how you tell. You just see, same for the enemy. You just see who comes to lane first and who comes to lane later. So if you see Urgot in lane first, and you don't see Xayah Xerath, then you can assume they leashed him here.
Okay.
So it doesn't work 100% of the time, but it works like, I would say 90% of the time, because, let's say Urgot, maybe he's AFK, or he's a little late, like he was in the bathroom and he came to lane late. And so then you wouldn't know, maybe you would think, maybe why is Urgot not here? Is he leashing blue? But maybe he was just AFK. So those are the situations where my strategy doesn't work, but most of the time it works out. Most of the time. Okay.
Is that a low ELO thing?
It's definitely a high ELO thing. Yeah, most low ELO people don't know this, but
no, I mean to see that, if like at a higher ELO, would the top stay in the jungle for a little bit longer and
usually not.
So they don't know, or?
No. Yeah, that is a strategy, is what you're saying. Yeah, but usually not. Like even in Challenger, they usually just go to lane. They don't Yeah, I usually only would see that in pro play, and even then, usually not. So it's a very reliable strategy just to see who comes, because it works all the way up to even pro play. So, but that's why I don't say it's 100%, because like you said, you're pretty smart. Like you said, yeah, some people do that, or some teams do that. They Urgot will just, maybe he'll come late on purpose, even though he's not leashing. Like even though Viego starts bot lane, Urgot might come late, like he doesn't want to give you the information, right? Yeah, it's a very high, very very high elo thing. Like I'm saying, even in Challenger, they don't often do that. So the strategy I'm telling you, it works 90% of the time. Yeah, 90% of the time. Okay, so back to the invade strategy. So you start red buff. When you do the red buff, you just look, because you want to know, is Viego starting red? You look to see who leashed him, right? So I want to know, is he starting red? Is he starting blue? Then once you know, I'll give you an example. Let's say he started red, okay? You found out he started red. Then most likely, most junglers who start the buff, they will do the whole side. So he'll probably do red, Krugs, Raptors, and then come to blue. At the same time, while he does that, you do your red, you do your Krugs, you do your Raptors. And instead of going to blue, you go to his blue, like that. That's how the invade works. So you will meet him here. You will meet him here, and you try to kill him. And if you don't kill him, it's also fine. You just take his camps or something, or he has to flash, or either way, it's a win. I mean, you delay your farm here, but you're also delaying the enemy jungler here, right? So it's that's how you think about invades. Is like it's risky, like you don't really know what will happen when you invade him. Like you might kill him, you might get a flash. He might just run away, like if he sees you early. It depends. It really depends. But because you are the stronger jungler, it's more in your favor to invade, if that makes sense. You're stronger than him, so yeah. And then I'll give you the sorry. Do you want to say something?
No, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
And then the other example. Let's say you start red, and then you notice actually Urgot leashed him blue, right? You see bot lane early, so you know he started blue. You're starting red. Well, it doesn't really change your plan. You still do red. You still do Krugs. You still do Raptors. But then you go here and you go to his red. You skip. You always skip this if you're invading. You just go. You fight him here. So that's why it's important to know where he started. If you're invading, it's very important, because you don't want to. If you're invading and let's say you start red, he starts blue, but you don't know he starts blue. Then you invade his blue, but it's all gone. Then you just wasted your time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why, as an invader specifically, it's very important to know where he starts. So I'll give you another example. Let's say you look at top and bot and they both come late, like like you said, like maybe he's faking it, or like I said, maybe Urgot's just like AFK. Okay. Then we don't know where Viego started. Then I would just forget about the invade plan. I would just say, okay, I don't know where Viego is. I'm gonna go for the more higher probability play, which is your plan. You just full clear. It's fine. You don't have to invade. Yeah. So you can see like how jungle is a very flexible and adaptable role, right? So there are like 3 options. In my opinion, there are 3 good. There's more than 3 options, honestly, but there are 3 options if you start red buff. Option 1. Red buff, Krugs, Raptors, invade blue. Option 2. red buff, Krugs, Raptors, invade red. And option 3, red buff, and you full clear. Right? Technically, there's way more options. You can also gank top, you can gank mid. I don't want to overwhelm you with all the options, but we're just talking about invading right now. Then this is the invading plan. Start red, invade blue. Start red, invade red. Start red, and just full clear. Those are the options you're looking for if you're planning an invade. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Okay. And then let me throw other variables into the equation now. So the game's very complicated. So okay. So we're just talking about Nocturne and Viego right now. Now we need to talk about the laners. So let's look at top lane. Urgot versus Jax. How do you understand this matchup?
Well, I think Jax is probably the best top laner at the moment, so he should be pretty comfortable there.
That's a fair assessment, yes. But do you know why he's comfortable? Like other reasons, other than he is pretty strong, yes. But Urgot's not bad himself.
Well, he has his shield and stuff, so he can block Urgot's better abilities.
Yeah. It blocks auto attacks, and Urgot is almost all his damage is auto attacks, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so why do we care about this top matchup? 2 reasons. One is, remember the invade plan I told you about? Red buff, Krugs, Raptors, invade blue.
Yeah.
It's not just you and Viego that you have to think about, right? We have to think about top lane, because when you invade, that sends alarm bells to the enemy, right? Viego when he sees you, he'll ask for help from Urgot, possibly. Yeah. But at the same time, when you invade, so usually when I invade, like let's say I'm around here, like okay, I did red, Krugs, Raptors. After I do Raptors and I plan to go to blue, I usually like spam ping that I'm going to blue buff, because I'm telling my Jax. I'm also telling we didn't talk about it yet, but I'm also telling your mid laner. You're telling your lane, your people near you, your teammates near you that you're invading, so they might want to help you. Low elo, they usually don't help you. That's fair. They usually don't, but it's a good habit. Sometimes they will help you, or sometimes they'll ping danger. Like they'll tell you, be careful because Urgot is going now. Okay, so again, the top matchup is important. Hopefully Jax is winning. If Jax is winning, so usually whoever's winning is pushing usually, and whoever's winning is pushing. So that means if you fight here, it's easier for Jax to help you than it is for Urgot to help Viego, because if Urgot helps Viego, he loses his minions. If that makes sense. Like, because Jax has more minions pushing into Urgot. So if they both leave, Urgot will lose those minions. Jax won't lose anything. So it's easier for Jax to help if he's winning, and it's harder for Urgot to help if he's losing. So that's a good thing. So that's one check, right? So if you want to invade blue, top side, it should be good for you. Okay. The other reason... Hey, do you have any questions? I'm talking a lot.
No.
Okay.
It's great.
Okay. The other reason you want to know about the matchup is for ganking. So there's 2 main reasons for ganking. Remember I said? The first reason is for invades. The second reason is for ganking. So let's say you're considering ganking top. One thing you need to consider is who's winning. If Jax is winning, remember what I said? Winning laners usually push. So if Jax is winning, the wave could probably be like here or something. They will probably be like, more into the enemy. Which means it's harder to gank Urgot, right? It's harder to gank Urgot if he's near his tower, right? Because Jax is winning. So usually you don't want to gank unless, like, you never know where the wave is going to be really, but you can like predict. So if he's winning, I predict it's going to be like here. But especially in low elo, the wave can be anywhere. So usually for a winning, if I'm confident he's going to win, I'm not going to gank, because there's no gank because Urgot will be near his tower. But I would consider a counter gank because think about it from Viego's perspective. If Jax is pushing, then it's easier to gank Jax, right? For Viego.
Yeah.
So then you can think like, should I try to protect Jax as the Nocturne? You can just like, you can be nearby to counter gank, or you could just be nearby and you can use your ward and help Jax, like give him a ward. If you just put a ward here, Jax most likely cannot be ganked by Viego. So that's why we need to know the matchup. Okay, let's go move on to the mid matchup. How do you understand this? Vex versus Aurelion Sol.
Vex is a new one to me. Well, both of them are new since I played. I know ASOL can get anywhere in the map in a matter of seconds, and Vex can hit you from a mile away.
Okay.
And kill you. But my knowledge of those is quite limited.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, he is kind of new, and he just got reworked too. So, let me tell you. So, I mean, they're both pretty similar. They're like immobile mages. I mean, Aurelion Sol does have one mobility spell to go through walls and stuff. But otherwise pretty immobile. And yeah, Vex can hit you from a mile away. That's his ultimate, so he needs level 6. Usually when I'm talking about our initial plan, like, so right now I'm trying to give you a plan on where you should start the game. So
yeah,
the initial plan, I usually don't care about level 6 because the initial plan is only levels like 1 through level 4, sometimes 5. But level 1 through 4, that's our initial plan. So we don't really care about their ults right now. So the way these two champions seem pretty similar, but I would say Vex is stronger early game because he has his fear. Aurelion Sol is he's like a scaling mid, like, so he's really strong late game. If you get to like 30-40 minutes, Aurelion Sol can just win the game for your team. But early game, Vex is definitely stronger. So with my knowledge, I would say Vex would be winning early game. So Vex might be pushing into Aurelion Sol. And again, that's important because when you invade blue, that means you have to worry about Vex. Because Vex will be pushing, so your wave might be here. And then if you invade, Vex can move first. Right? Because the wave is here, Vex is closer, right? Vex is going to be closer. Your Aurelion Sol will be here. Vex will be like here. So Vex can help first. And not only that, I said Vex is stronger early game compared to Aurelion Sol. So even if they both come, Vex will do more in the fight than Aurelion Sol. Aurelion Sol doesn't really do anything early game. So Vex will do more. Plus, he has Ignite. Let's see all these factors adding up. That mid lane is not in your favor early game. Top lane is in your favor. And then, again, jungle is in your favor. So you have 2 favorable matchups, Jax, Nocturne, and then you have 1 losing matchup, is the Vex wins mid. So, considering all that, I would still go for the invade because, 2 against 1, right? 2 winning matchups, 1 losing matchup. It's still in your favor. And then the second thing I said is you can gank mid too, right? Because Vex will probably push. He's winning, right? Vex is winning, so he'll probably push into Aurelion Sol. So he might be pushed, and you could gank him. I'm sure you experienced Nocturne's ganks are not very strong before 6, so you could gank him, but it's not. I don't recommend it because, like, let's say he's here and you come from here, right? He can just run down here. You can't really do anything, right?
Yeah, whenever I gank with Nocturne, unless they're really pushed and low on health, it's more of a deterrent trying to get my laner to get a bit more CS, get them out of the way for a moment and reset it. But I very rarely would go to a matchup.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
And think I'm going to get kills.
Perfect. You're saying a lot of correct things. That's good. Yeah. So I said, you could, it might be gankable, but probably not. Depends how pushed and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So far the game plan that we've laid out is that actually I would recommend starting red and invading his blue, or depends, but Well, blue for blue, yes, because you have winning jacks. Okay. If we want to invade red, we have to think about bot lane. So let's look at the bot lane matchup. So it's a 2v2 down there. How do you understand this 2v2?
Early game for sure. I'd say we've got the advantage because of Nautilus's hook and he's in tankability, and Ezreal has quite good range, and he's got that warp, so he can move, engage and disengage quicker.
Okay. I'm gonna say I don't really agree with you there, but I kind of agree with you. So let me teach you the. Yeah, sorry. Did you want to say something?
No, I didn't say anything.
Okay. So I want to teach you the melee versus ranged matchup. So I mean, like both AD carriers they're usually both range, right? They're AD range carriers. Yeah. But the support here is the biggest difference. You have a melee engager, and you have a ranged poke champion. So usually the range, even if usually the range champion wins early. Like it doesn't have to be a poke champion. It could even if it's like a Soraka, like an enchanter, they usually win early because early game, like you're level 1. When you're level 1, melee champions are not that strong. Nautilus is kind of an exception. He is pretty strong level 1, but melee champions usually need several abilities. If you think like Alistar, Leona, they need level 2. Yeah. So their level 1 is usually weak because they can't really do anything. As a melee champion, you can't do anything. The ranged champion can just use their auto attacks. And they don't have to auto the champion. They can just auto attack the minions. So but the way bot lane works is whoever gets level 2 first usually controls the lane. So these two have the advantage of getting level 2 first because they can auto attack the minions. Like 2 people are auto attacking the minions while this one only 1. Like if he tries to auto them, these 2 can like just hit him for free. So he usually the melee support usually doesn't like to hit. I mean they would like to, but it's hard for them to hit the minions, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So because of that, these 2 should be pushing, and they should get level 2 first. And when they get level 2, these guys are level 1. They cannot fight these guys, so they have to give up even more. They have to like run back and wait. So that's kind of why the range matchup usually wins early game.
Yeah, that makes more sense now you said that.
But then once both laners get to like level 4, 5, and 6, then the melee support starts to become really threatening, because now the melee support is, once he's level 3, he has all his abilities, and if the melee support can get on any of them, right? These 2, they're squishy, right? Melee supports have the advantage that they're tanky, and range supports, they're usually squishy. They're easy to kill. So if the melee support can get on one of these, then your bot lane has a better chance. And then definitely late game, and for team fights, usually melee supports are very valuable because they can tank, they can engage for you. Compared to a Xerath doesn't really do much in a team fight. So that's kind of the trade-off. So range supports usually, like I summarize, range supports usually win early game. They usually can push early and get we call it priority. So I was talking about priority here. Like, so Jax has priority. It means if you invade, Jax will move first. Priority is like first. Who gets to go first? And then mid lane, Vex has priority. So if you invade, Vex will come first. And then so similarly for bot lane, early game, the enemy has priority. Enemy bot lane has priority. But your bot lane has higher kill threat, if that makes sense. Like, it's hard to die to Xayah and Xerath. They can't really surprise you too much, but Nautilus is a big X factor. Like, he can hook you, and then you could just die to Nautilus. So that's the advantage of melee supports. Yeah. But for our invade purposes, that means you will not have priority bot lane. The enemy will. So if you start red and you want to invade his red, that's a bad idea, right? Because Vex has priority, mid lane, enemy mid lane has priority, and enemy bot lane has priority. So if you fight Viego here, you're just not going to have a good time. If that makes sense?
Yeah, they're picking me to death, won't they?
Yeah. So finally, we have our entire invading plan. So I said I would recommend you start red. Red Krugs Raptors. Invade blue, good. Invade red, bad. And if we don't know where he is, full clear is fine. So now you can see how you analyze all the matchups. You make a plan, and then you can also change your plan depending on situations. But yeah, so the most ideal plan is start red buff, invade his blue buff. That's the most ideal, but it depends on what Viego does, right? He could start blue. Urgot could fake leash. Those are some factors. And we expect Jax to win, but Jax could lose. Like you never know. And we expect same mid. We expect Vex to win, but Vex could lose. Like you never know. So if some factors change, you can change your plan like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that would be my plan. I'm guessing so soon we can actually start seeing what you do. I'm guessing you start blue and full clear. That's an okay plan too. Because like I said, you have winning top. Jax is winning, so your plan is not bad because if you clear up, you will be near your winning Jax, which means you can probably get the Scuttle Crab, right? Because if you go up and Viego goes up, you got junglers usually fight for the crab if they both end up the same place. So you gotta think about who can help you on the crab. Jax can help you, but again we talked about, but Vex can help him. But again we talked about you're stronger than Viego, so you can probably get the crab. The second good thing about going top is you protect your Jax. So you're protecting your Jax by going top because when you go top, you're nearby to counter gank. Like if Viego ganks Jax, you'll be somewhere nearby and you can just go help him. The other thing I talked about is you can give Jax a ward. Like you can save your ward to protect your Jax to let him continue to win.
Yeah, I'm fairly confident. I started with a red, which I know is a schoolboy error now.
We'll see. You started with the red trinket?
Yeah, I'm fairly sure I did.
Okay. So I generally don't recommend that.
That's been a standard. Yeah, you said get that up because it's a full clear champion normally, so just get it on my first back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You saw my other videos? I said that. Yeah. Yeah. And mostly because red is for ganking, right? I said red is for. Wait, actually, you do have yellow right now. Actually, unless you switch it, we'll see. I'll do 2. Oh, I think you're gonna ward and switch. Yeah. So you actually should not do this. Can you tell me why you do this?
Just to see if they're gonna come and gank.
Okay, yeah. So sometimes this is good, but I'll tell you why it's not good in this game because, like I said, because of the bot matchup. Because ranged versus melee, the enemy will push you guys your bot lane in, which means Viego cannot gank bot, right? Because your bot lane will be like here. So this ward, in that sense, serves no purpose because most likely Viego cannot gank bot anyways. So you don't really need vision down here at all, at least early game. Where do you want vision? I'm trying to think. It's basically what I said. You don't need to ward anything. You just hold it, and then when you full clear up, you protect your Jax with your ward. That's all really. I mean, you will have 2 wards by the time you get to Scuttle, so using 1 is okay. But but definitely not bot lane because of what I said. Because Viego should not be able to gank bot. So if you're gonna do it,
no, it wasn't for the Viego gank. Sorry, I meant invade.
Oh,
so I knew they'll come in.
Invade. Okay. So usually you only use your ward against invades if you're very scared. Like they have Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank is pretty scary. This game, it's not that scary. Like I mean, Xerath Stun, Vex Fear, those are pretty strong. But so I'll tell you some spots. So like Ezreal's standing here. This is a pretty safe spot, right? So if they come, he can see them and then he can just run away. He could level his E or something. Another good spot is you stand here. Like basically, there are spots you can stand so that if they invade, you can see them and you can just walk away without any threat. There's also a good. You can stand here too. If you stand here, and they come, you'll see them, and then you can just your tower's right here. You just walk this way.
Okay.
So if you're diligent, like you're not AFK and you're standing in a good spot, you can see the enemy coming, and then you can just walk away before they do anything. Again, this only works if they're not that strong. So if it's a blitzcrank, then maybe this ward, or even you want the ward here against blitzcrank. But like I said, there's no blitzcrank here, so yeah, you don't need that. You don't need that. And you guys are actually kind of scary. Nautilus is pretty strong level 1, so I don't think they would invade you, but they might. They might. But I mean, this is not the end of the world, so. Oh, they do invade you. So, but they invade you from this area, so you've only protected this side.
Yeah.
Which, if I don't know, did you see your Ezreal? Yeah. So at this point, you should have warded this because Ezreal's when people invade you, there's 2 entrances, right? Here, 1, and here, 2.
Yeah.
So Ezreal's already guarding this one, so you need to guard this one. And you can guard this one with your body. Like I said, you could stand here. You could stand here. If you stand either of these spots, you would have seen them coming, right? If you don't feel safe, like they have a blitzcrank, then you can just put a ward here. You could put a ward here. You can even put a ward here. It depends how safe you feel. But here, here, here. Stand here, stand here. This is how you defend this side, while your bot lane defends this side, and then you wouldn't get surprised here. But I don't think. I mean, you saw the ward, right? Did they? Oh, wait. Yeah, once you saw that ward, you saw them. You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, when I go into that bush, I always just keep clicking above it and below the where your cursor is. So I go in that bush and click above it so I can see if they're coming round.
What do you mean? This bush?
Yeah, if I'm in there, then I'll keep clicking like 3 centimeters above it. So I just keep going. I get vision.
Yeah, you want vision on this side. Right?
So I can see a ward if it comes, and I can see them if they come. If they
okay, yeah, ward. Yeah. And you did see them. Oh, and I don't know how that happened. But, happens. You're fine. I mean, I don't know how Ezreal died. That's unfortunate. So now your game plan is you have to go here, right? Because they probably take this. Yeah, he's taking this.
Yeah.
And then that's important. So we saw him leave, so he didn't take your Gromp. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, he's gone to the red below.
Yeah. Well, they have 2 options when they do this. So, because right now he has the advantage on you. He already took a buff. You didn't even start your buff, right?
Yeah.
So if he wants, he can just run straight to his blue if he wants to. Because usually when this happens, the other jungler, the one who got their buff stolen, you would try to take his in response. So what they do is they could take blue, then they could just go to their blue, and you do beat him though. Like you could take red and then you can go to blue, and you guys would fight there. So this is where we have to adapt our plan. Like this will be a level 2 invade. Remember before I said you could do like 1, 2, 3, level 3, and then invade. But because of what happened, you might want to consider a level 2 invade. So you take red buff, then you go to blue buff, and then you might see him there. But in low elo, most chances are he's just going to do this. Most chances are he's just going to do this. If he does this, then yes, you can take these. Fine. The problem is you don't have your ward right now. Oh, you have a sweeper now? So if you didn't ward this, you would have had another ward. So ideally, when you take his blue buff, you want to ward like here, so you can see if he's coming. You can prepare yourself. But yeah. Oh, let's see what you do. Oh, okay. You do the red buff. Oh, he actually tries to gank or something. So your ward actually helps here. This This is where I actually saw. Okay, you see, this is you don't even go for this. I would have definitely gone here right after there because you saw him here, right?
Yeah.
We saw him here, so he's probably doing this, maybe this, but very unlikely he would go all the way here and then skip everything and go to blue. So if you just went red to blue, you would have had time to take that. You even would have time to take Gromp. Usually not wolves, but yeah, you had time for at least blue and Gromp if he's here, most likely. And like I said, Jax should be pushing, right? Over here, it looks kind of even. He's getting pushed in. Oh, you don't even opt for an invade, I think. Oh, yeah. So here you're giving up your strength. You already know this is gone, right? So that means all these are up. And like I said, you're stronger than Viego anyways, so you don't have to be scared of Viego. You also have your Jax that can help you first. This just looks okay. I mean, Vex is better, so you have to worry a little bit here. But definitely, I would have gone in here.
Yeah.
And we can see the power of your melee support. It's easier for them to get kills. And 1-for-1 anyways, though. Your path is very conservative. Like, it's not the end of the world, but you see, you're not going to get level 4, right? Because no blue buff. Oh, and he even takes this. So he actually, I think Viego actually assumed you took this because Viego's still here. Viego was like doing all this, so you had so much time to take these, as you can see. Yeah.
Could have took the risk as well.
Yeah. Okay, you're kind of wasting time here, so let me show you. So you do Gromp. You're looking for a crab.
Yeah.
Once you see the crab is down, right? You have 2 options now. You can gank bot. You have 3 options. Sorry. Gank bot. Go to the other scuttle. You can recall. Let's talk about the options. So, gank bot is ideal, but not in this game because you can see she's low. And Ezreal's here. You can see she's low. Usually when they're low, they're not going to play too dangerous. Like, she's not going to push much here. Actually, and your minions are slightly pushing her minions. So she can safely just stay here. The only way you kill her is you flash Q her right here or something. Which is possible, to be fair. If you flash Q her, she probably dies, but the chance is quite low, and we don't know where Xerath is. If Xerath just stuns you, and you don't spell shield it, then it's done. This is failed. Okay, so I don't like this option because it's just wasting time. The other option is you can go for this crab, which I also don't like because you have to go all the way around. You can't go through here, right? Because they have vision here. You can't go here. You have to go all the way around here. That just takes a long time. And so the best option would be to just recall. Right when you see this, just recall, buy some items so you're strong. You know, if Viego doesn't recall and you recall, you'll be stronger than Viego. And then go look at the crab. There's a chance that the crab's gone because actually Viego's like, he's on his way up. Actually, if you it's my game sense. Like, he already took this crab. I think he just took it. Even if he took it just now, he can just move right here. He can just go here. He can reach the crab before you can reach the crab anyways. So the crab's not really an option for you unless Viego gives it to you. Like, it's up to Viego. It's not up to you. So either way, just recall, buy some items, and protect your Jax. Because we know Viego's going up here because there's nothing for Viego to do down here. I mean, he could look for a gank, but Xayah is low, so it's unlikely Viego is going to gank bot. He has no camps. He already took the crab. there's no camps for him to steal from you. Viego has to be up here, so you also want to be up here because you want to protect this Jax. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So then all this is wasted time, especially since you see this ward. Did you clear this? Oh, okay. Clearing it is okay, but then once you clear it, you know when you clear the ward, they see you, right? They see you.
Yeah.
So then there's no reason for them to. Oh, I don't know. Actually, I don't think that's. Does he die here? There's no reason for them to actually be fighting because if they see you, they should just walk back. I guess he does die here. Or no, he doesn't die. Okay. But again, like I said, it's very unlikely this happens. I agree that it's possible you could kill them, but unlikely. So, and then okay, now you recall. That's good.
For the scuttle, do I have to walk through it for them to see? If I walk around it, can they see me or not?
Okay, so if you walk this way, they can't see you.
Yeah.
But any other way, they can see you. Like here, they can see you. Here, they can see you. So this is the only place they can't see you. Which is why like I said, once you see the scuttle, you only had 3 options, which is gank bot because they wouldn't see you if you went this way, right? To gank bot. Get scuttle crab, which again I said I don't like it because you can't go this way. You have to go all the way around if you don't want them to see you. And then the third option, just recall, right? So either way, you don't want to go through here. That's why I closed most of your options. It's basically, your best option is gank bot because that's the only option that you don't get seen, right? Yeah. And then you can see, right? He did gank top. So if you did what I said, like you immediately recalled, I think you would have been here in time to protect your Jax. But because you didn't recall immediately, now you can see Jax had to flash away from this gank. He didn't die, right? But he lost his flash. Yeah. Small things like these all add up to decide who wins the game. Oh, I just realized you bought a pink. I like pink wards, but I prefer items earlier. So instead of the control ward and the dagger, I would have just bought the longsword. Longsword does more than dagger. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless you're playing a dragon, but you have sweeper too. So. No, you're good.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure I got flamed for that. That was my fault.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, but I think you're good. I don't blame you here because do you understand? Like, do you think you did it wrong? I think you're fine.
I don't. I think it was the right decision. I did signal them to retreat because we don't know where Viego is at this point.
Okay. Yeah. You can see we can see their pings. So, yeah, they are flaming you, but you're right because the way it works out is by the time you get there, it's already done anyways, and yeah, it wouldn't work out. I guess you're typing now.
Yeah, I'm sure I would.
You spell shield really late there. Like you spell shield at the end of the fight. Do you notice that? Let's see when you spell shield.
Did I get rooted here? I gotta be honest, I don't really remember this game.
You got hit by Zera stun.
Okay.
So if you definitely you want to spell shield. Well, it really depends, but I guess It is hard to say, honestly. But ideally, you want to spell shield earlier rather than later. Like, I mean, you might spell shield just Viego's Q and it doesn't really do anything, right? That's a fair point, but yeah, I'm not gonna blame too much. But ideally earlier rather than later, because people, especially in low though, they don't usually hold their abilities too long. So, okay, another thing. Let's see. You used your E on the dragon. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Usually, E. You look at your E. 80 damage.
Yeah, no damage. I learned that from today's video as well.
Oh, okay.
when I was watching your video, I was like, I eat absolutely everything.
Oh, okay. It's definitely, and if Viego saw that, or if the enemy sees that, then that's pretty bad, because that's your main. That's the main reason people don't want to engage on you. Like, Viego can W you, right? So he can fight you, but then after he W's you, you just E him, and then he'll probably lose. But then if you don't have E, then he doesn't have to be afraid of you anymore. So usually E is for champions. E is for champions. Let's see how long you almost have it. I guess it doesn't really matter in this case, actually, because they're not. You have it again now, so.
Yeah, but that was luck, wasn't it? Because he didn't push it.
Yeah. Here is okay because you eat this time is actually okay because you're low, right? So making it feared actually like saves you some health. And then also you have vision here, like no one is evading you, so it's not a strict roll, right? Like this E is okay. This E is okay. So here I would recall because. Here we can see you have 1,200 gold, and you have level 6, and you're low HP. So I'll tell you why all those are important. So 1,200 gold, that's a lot of gold. That if you go back now and you buy something, you'll be much stronger than you are now. Okay, that's important.
Yeah, I definitely stack way too much gold. That's something that I need to get out of the habit of.
Yeah, and why is that important? Because you have level 6, and your ult. You have your ult, right? So a general rule is when you have ult, you want to look for a gank. Okay, but with 1,200 gold, it's more ideal to buy something, be strong before you ult. That's the ideal case, right? Because then your gank will be more successful if you have if you spend this gold. And then that's what this other factor. You're low HP, so if you don't really want to gank with this HP, because they might just kill you. So backing solves all those problems. You get to buy something, you get to heal, and then you're ready to. Then you're ready. Then you come out and you're ready to make your gank. Could be either of these. It could even be bot. Ideally, it's one of these because you have all these camps. You want to do these camps, but sometimes you would like to gank bot. It really depends on the game. In this game, I would look. I mean, he's already low. He might back, but Jax is low too. This is that you assess like how long will they stay in the lane. So you look at like he's low, but so is Jax, so he might stay because Jax stays. And then, so after you recall, you just go top and you kill him. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you fear the camp. Fear the camp. Okay, but you know now, right?
Yeah. Do you ever use the bow for Nocturne?
I'm sorry, what did you say? The what?
Blade, Rune King.
Sometimes, yeah. But it's against health. So let's look at this game. It doesn't look like he's building health. He is building a little bit. These three are not. So usually, because Blade's usually good against champions that build health because it deals percentage max HP, like damage based on their health. So yeah, I mean it's still. I mean, to be honest, it's still good against people who don't build health, but there's a lot of good items in the game, so you're contending with a lot of items if you build it.
Yeah. I feel like like that was another one, seen it on a YouTube video, and that was part of my staple, but I think I stopped.
What builds?
Yeah, I used to use that all the time. I don't think I do this game.
Okay, I don't think it would be that good this game. Okay, it works out for you though. I mean, this should be fine. Yeah. Okay. Not ideal that you died, but again, I don't think you would have died if you did what I said. If right here after this you recalled, you would have been healthier. You would have had more items. You probably have you probably have this. I don't know what you buy. You buy you buy the whip. The whip, but you already have. Oh, you might still die, but less
Would
likely.
have damage from the whip as well, though, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
From activating it.
Yeah. So I hope you see like your mistakes. Like actually, like right now the game's going pretty good for your team. Like, but it could be better, right? Basically, based on what my advice is, like it could be better. Yeah. Like you dying for Vex, that's not bad. I mean, you guys still get Rift and everything. That's still good for your team, but better if you don't die, right? So, what are you doing here? And why do you do that? Wait, actually, let's see the dragon type.
Went to Draco.
Dragon is in... Which one's dragon? Wait, I can't... Oh, a minute 20? So, you have a lot of time. You don't need to do this. This is kind of the immediate thing happening, but... I'll be honest, I think he's screwed either way. I don't think you have time to actually help him.
The Des wasn't there, so I just done that to wait.
Yeah. Wait, is this your ward? Oh, you okay. Oh, you just get ult. Oh, you didn't. So I'll tell you... Yeah, I don't really. I don't blame you for not coming here. I just think this. This the only thing is I don't think this word is very useful. But this is good. Nice. A small thing I can help you with here is. So when you're on her, you want to auto her, then walk this way, then auto her, then walk this way. Does that make sense? So you stick on her. I think the way you're doing it is you click to auto her, but I don't see you moving this way, like your movement. Yeah, you're just standing there. You see that? You're just standing there.
Yeah.
If you moved, I think you could still kill her. Yeah, you might be able to, if you hear Q, but okay, yeah. But it would have been much easier if you just auto, then move, auto, then move. It's kind of like an 80 carry, but melee is also can do it too.
I think he gets wiped out here as well.
Yeah. And you might actually see the effect here. So if you did the auto move, you wouldn't have to take this tower shot. It would have been harder for Viego to kill you, and then maybe you guys could have 2v1 Viego.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't actually know. Let's see. 4. So what I'm thinking right now is, as you leave base, you need to decide where do you want to go. The dragon's coming up very soon.
Yeah, I think that's why I went back to bot.
Yeah, I think so too. But you also need to think about, do you even fight for dragon? So usually you look at your teammates, like how are they doing? He's doing okay. He's kind of losing right now, in the lane at least. And here, they're doing okay, but again, they're kind of losing in terms of the lane. Like, where is the lane? Like, it's pushing into you guys. So, like, if you fight dragon, you guys lose. Aurelion soon will lose these minions, and your team will lose. I guess they're okay in the minions, right? But you also need to think about the ultimates. So your ultimate is 40 seconds. Dragon is in 15. So there'll be 30 seconds of the dragon fight. You have no ultimate, and then you look at your teammates. His looks like it's coming up soon, and his doesn't really look like it. Mid has ultimate, and then you look at who's strong. Xayah is pretty strong. You are pretty strong, but you have no ultimate. So Nocturne without ultimate's not great. Yeah, basically you and Xayah. You are the most fed on your team. Xayah is the most fed on their team. It's Viego. Viego might actually be strong. We don't know what he might have backed already. We don't see him, right? We actually don't see where the enemy is. So Viego might have enough gold to finish his mythic, like Sunder, and then he would be strong too.
Yeah.
I feel, so this is based on experience. I feel pretty weak right now. I mean, as a team, the four of you guys look pretty weak right now because. Remember what I said? Aurelion Sol, he's a scaler. He's weak early. He's strong at like 30 minutes. Your bot lane right now, they're just losing, right? You see Xayah has her Kraken. Ezreal has just a bunch of random nothing.
Yeah.
You're strong, but you have no ultimate. So I don't feel confident here. And they also have they have Viego and Xayah. They have two big threats. I would just give it up in this case. So in this case, I would take these camps and just go up and not fight. But I can understand why you might want to fight because you're all full HP and everything. You're not losing that much. So this is one of those judgments you have to make. And then in low elo, maybe you do what I say is I farm and then I go top, and then maybe your bot lane will be like, wait, let's do dragon. What are you doing? They'll flame you, right? That's part of the game. So, but
objective retard. That's normally what I get told.
yeah, no, I know. I mean, I get told that too as a jungler myself. So it's a jungler's life to get blamed for everything.
Yeah,
you just gotta deal with it. But that's what I would do. But I don't blame you at the same time if you decide to go for this dragon because you guys can win. It's not 100% that you lose. You guys can win. I would say it's like a 30 maybe 40% chance that you guys can win this. But it's not in your favor. But you can win this. But the thing is, you already have one dragon. Getting this second dragon is I think it's a cloud one too. It's a cloud dragon, yeah. It's not the end of the world to give up this and just farm and choose a better fight. Because right now this is like at best 40% chance of winning. That's at best in my opinion. I'm just throwing out numbers here, right? But this is based off my prediction. Could definitely go in your favor though. I mean, this is low elo as well. But look at your top. Your top's winning so hard. So if you do my play, it would be this. Maybe you skip these. You would take this. Take these. Actually, don't do these. You would take this because after the enemy takes dragon, they usually try to take your camps. So it's good from base. You come here, you take your camps, but you skip these and you just take all these. So giving up one dragon for 3 enemy camps is usually a decent trade for you. At the same time, you don't risk losing the game here because if you guys fight for dragon here, if you guys lose the team fight and you lose the dragon, and you don't get to steal these, that's like game over for your team. So this is the more conservative play, but it's the more reliable. Like League of Legends is like a, if you play poker or gambling, it's like pick your odds. Like the odds of winning this not that high, and the rewards also not that high. But if you take this, it's like 100% chance of winning. Like I would rather take 100% chance of winning this than 40% chance of winning this, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But again, I said you could win this. It doesn't look like you guys. Okay, so notice what happened. You guys don't even try. I mean, you kind of try, but not really, right? I don't blame you guys for not trying, because they're really strong right now in this position compared to your team. So all you're doing here is like you're dancing with them for no reason, when you could just take this. You could just take this instead of dancing. Just give it up. Go for this. Here, you don't die, but you don't get anything. You don't get anything, right? Again, you could get this. It's kind of a concept like low elo people have problems with, is giving up things. Like even Baron, sometimes you just give up the Baron and do something else. You have to look at the situation though, and just know when to give it up. Again, I don't blame you for trying, but it's showing you that there's other things you could do.
Yeah.
And then remember, Jax is winning. Jax is your strong side. Bot lane is losing. They're your weak side. Usually you play with the strong side. But Nocturne is pretty good at killing these guys, so being here is okay. Like, it's not a strict rule, so being here is okay. Yeah. But a general rule is you play with your strong side, because if you play with Jax, you can always kill Urgot, or if Viego helps Urgot, you still win because your Jax is so strong, right? So you win 2 against 1, you definitely win. 2 against 2, you probably win. So higher chance of winning if you play up here than if you play down here. But again, but this time it's okay because Nocturne's pretty good at killing like Xerath. Less so Xayah, but because you have Nautilus, being bot is okay in this game. Oh, did you gave up early, right? Is that? Because you had the fear on her. Yeah, you gave up. So
yeah, I can get myself because of Victoria.
Yeah, but look at your full HP. You can take a few shots.
Yeah.
And I think even if Nautilus doesn't land hook, I think it looks like she'll die here anyways. I'll be honest, but you wanna know what you can do. So Xayah, she already used her ult. She has no flash heal. She has nothing. So your fear could definitely land on her if you continue. Yes, you will take some tower shots, but you're full HP. You could take at least 2, maybe 3 shots. And then you walk out, and as that's happening, she's feared. These 2, your Nautilus and Ezreal, will kill her anyways. So this is just knowing how to tank tower for your teammates.
Yeah.
But yeah, she dies anyways, okay.
The amount of times I've played Nocturne and people, like, I've just noticed there, Zareth is putting Nocturne R and it's on cooldown and it comes up saying like 15 seconds left. I'm like, well, why are you pinging it?
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Wait, say that again. Who said what?
Like, Zareth was pinging my R.
No, but Zareth is the enemy team.
Oh, is it? Sorry, it's another game I'm thinking of. The times people would ping my R.
Oh.
And then, like, when it's not ready.
Yeah, people do that. It's jungler's life, like I said. So here you're giving him too much respect. Well, actually, I mean, Urgot could be here actually, but you have him. I think he wastes. Or actually, I don't know what he's doing. Does he have W? He has his W. So you know, his like you said, he can move pretty far. Like with his W, he can help you. And then, like I said, you're stronger than Viego. Okay, right now more even because he has the plated steel caps, but I still think you're stronger than Viego. Yeah, you're stronger than Viego, and you have him. But also, yeah, it's fair. We don't know where Urgot is. Urgot could be right here or something too. But I think too much respect. You at least you can poke it. You also have flash, so if something bad happens, you can just flash away as well, right? Yeah, too much respect for this Viego right now. Okay, that's very good. Now that's very good. Okay, yeah, Urgot was there, so yeah, fair enough. Urgot was there, fair enough.
Yeah.
You do that. Very nice by you. Very nice by you. Yeah, and but you what do you call it? You don't want to fight him until you see Aurelion Sol to help you, but you would be like you want to be close to him, like the way you went. I understand why you went this because you don't want to be seen, and then you just want to like steal it, which you did, which is really good. Let's see again. You see this again? This problem?
Yeah, but yeah, it's bad. I do it all the time.
Oh, yeah, okay. So the way it's easier for Nocturne compared to most junglers to think about when do you want to back. You look at when are you going to have ult. Remember, when you have ult, that's when you want to gank. Okay, and then so it's like before you ult, you want to spend your gold. So
yeah,
your ult just came up. So I think like after you took red buff, you back here so you get your items. And look at this, you can probably just kill these guys after you back. You just come here, but here you're not really doing anything. I don't know the rift. Let's see, when's the rift? Rift is soon, but either way, you have time. You could back, buy your items, come to Rift. You could back, double kill bot because Uzaya no flash. Yeah. I guess you're waiting for Rift. That's all my guess.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. Works out. Oh, does it though? He's not looking. I think it worked out. Looking good still. Okay. Okay, so that flash is a mistake because we talked about, right? Viego has more mobility than Nocturne, so if Viego wants to run from you, he most likely can. I mean, if you have Smite or if you had, I guess you have Strikebreaker active, or obviously if you have ult, then you might be able to catch Viego, but usually not worth chasing Viego. Yeah. And your flash is really important here, but it works out for you. So, but I hope you can still learn from my advice, like why I'm telling you to do certain things. Like it works out, but it doesn't mean that you made the right choice.
yeah. It's more luck, isn't it? Yeah, no.
Yeah. That's also why, like I said, you might win the dragon fight. You shouldn't win it, but you might. Like in low elo, things don't usually happen the way they should. So I don't want to say this will happen, but yeah. I guess you go Death Dance.
Yeah.
I definitely would recommend Cleaver. Cleaver is just an all around good item. Does anyone go Cleaver here? No. But Jax, it looks like Jax will go Cleaver. Cleavers don't stack, so. Death Dance is okay.
I think I might have gone Cleaver third. do get Cleaver quite often.
Oh, yeah, Cleaver is really solid. It's usually like a really strong second item for most bruisers. Like not just Nocturne, it's just good.
Yeah, and they always on refresh.
Yeah.
Use it.
Don't really blame you for much there though. It's... And you probably have to give this up again as well. Oh, you have ult though? Maybe not. So this dragon is a little different from the other dragon. This one, it's still not in your favor, but you have ult now, and you're still strong. So you see how the situation changes depending on lots of factors.
Yeah.
And now we're at 18 minutes. Your Aurelion Soul finished the mythic. He's looking pretty strong now too. Ezreal finished his mythic. Compared to Xayah, they both have a mythic now. Before Xayah had a mythic, Ezreal had no mythic. So AD carry is looking better now too. The main thing right now is your Nautilus is dead. Their Xerath is not dead, so that's not good for you. But they're kind of low. Xerath and Xayah, I think she was like very, very low. So because you have ult, I would hope to take this. It looks like they're taking it now, so they might take dragon before you can even get in here. But at the very least, you would definitely want to fight this. I think you will. I think you will. It looks like you want to. Yeah, okay. And then as you want to like rush here, it's possible it's gone, but you want to like rush here. You guys do ping it, so let's see. Okay, no, they got it. I mean, that's at least you notice this. That's very good.
I'm so embarrassed about that E now.
About what?
That E.
Oh no! I mean, no. Now you know. I don't think I'll do it again. So, like in this game, sure. Yeah.
I just cringe it every time I do.
Yeah, I do see. Well, yeah. No. Oh, you even eat not even the big one. This one. You eat
oh yeah, anything.
Oh, okay.
I can hope someone get it.
But I can tell that the message is stuck. That you're not gonna do it again. I guess you're typing here. So you see, if you type, we actually can't see it in the replay. The replay only shows the pings. So if you're toxic, I don't, or anyone's toxic, we won't see it in the replay.
I'm not toxic, but I do bite if people give me.
Oh yeah. I don't recommend it, like even because it just like as you see when you're typing, you're just standing still doing nothing.
Yeah.
So it's hard for you could be farming and like it hinders you. I mean if you're farming your camps, then that's a better time to type. Like while you're farming, then you can type. But generally, I just don't recommend typing.
Yeah, I need to start turning off my chat. If I don't know, it can't annoy me.
There's an option, right here, I think. Oh, it's not here. I thought. I'm sure there's maybe not on the replay. There's like an option where you can actually just have chat off by default. It's up to you.
I think it starts that way, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. And you have to manually turn it on yourself. This is good. Well, this would also be good. Honestly, like right now, you're so strong that whatever you decide to do, you usually work. So right now, this is pretty good because you have Rift, right? You can just force this down. You can even take this down. That's good. You can also come here and probably win the mid fight as well because this is 2v1. Oh, this would be 4v4, but you're just so strong that I think even if you go here, you can win this. But yeah, this is like just noticing how strong you are in the game. But I like this. I like this. You have to notice this though, hopefully. You have double vision, so that's good. So here is where you know a fight's coming, right? You see everyone's around here. You know a fight's coming. So here is where you want to think about who do you want to ult. Do you do that? Like think about like, okay, I can ult one person. Who should it be?
I don't know if I did in this case, but yeah, I generally go for like it depends. I often will go for the ADC or a support if they've got a bunch of CC.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's general rule is like squishy champions. So AD carry in this case supports squishy. I mean if it's a tank support, then not the support, right? You have to think about can you kill them? So like Xayah has her ult, which makes it kind of hard to kill her. She just ults. So ideally it's Xerath because Xerath has nothing. He has a stun, but you could spell shield the stun. So ideally it's Xerath. Ideally you ult him right now. Actually, well, if Viego's somewhere here. But another option is not only can you kill them, but who is isolated. So Urgot is isolated right now. That is an option, but he's kind of tanky. Like so, if you ult Urgot and Jax goes on him, you could probably kill Urgot, but
yeah, the tower will be dead as well. By the time
yeah. So you could do that. See, the reason I wouldn't do that though is because if you do that, you kind of give up the fight here. You're only winning this fight. You're giving up this fight, and this fight is more important because there's more people, right? You have all your members here. They have more members here. So if you win this fight, like Urgot can't do anything. He just has to run away. So this fight is the most important one to win. And Vex is over here. He might ult in, yeah, but right now he's not important. So definitely you're gonna think about these two. Viego's right here, so not him. So these two, and then like I said, you choose Xerath because Xayah, yes, she is the carry, but she's harder to kill. So kill him first, then then you win this much more easily because you have your team here to deal with the Xayah later. Yeah. This is free kill. I don't know. You might do it. Oh no. You did neither. I think he still is out this, but you decided not to. I guess because they're coming on you. So definitely would have ulted in first because they're all coming to you, right? But if you ult Xerath here, you'll go all the way here. So they have to come all the way to you, right? First they're going up. They're trying to kill you and Jax, right? Because they have 1, 2, 3, 4 people versus 2, right? You and Jax versus 4 if they fight here. So you don't want to fight here. You want to fight here. This is where your team is coming. Your team was here. So you want to fight where they're coming here, so you also want to come here and you want to fight here. It's like a numbers game. So if you ulted first, you guys had the advantage here. Because you didn't, now they kind of had the advantage here. They have it, yeah, I think you guys will be okay, I'll be honest, but definitely would have been better if you just ulted preemptively first. Yeah, you guys are okay. Yeah, you just aced. Yeah. Okay. So my advice doesn't matter here, but I hope you understand the thinking that fight where you have the bigger advantage. I mean, it didn't really matter here because right now you and Jax are so strong that it doesn't matter too much. So like I said before, so now it's 21 minutes. I usually stop here, but it's totally up to you. Like if you want to look at more, but so right now the jungle game is over. So right now you're playing the late game, and late game. I don't know if you know how to play Nocturne late game, but your biggest strength is you can go anywhere you want, especially when your ult gets to level 3. Right now it's a level 2 ult, but when you get level 3 ult, it's really strong. So you're already starting to do it. Like you can like. You can like be in a side lane and it's easy for you to just go mid. Like your ult is pretty far, or you could be with your mid lane, and then if you need to help your Jax, it's easy for you to go help Jax, and that's kind of how you play the late game. Do you want to continue looking at this game? It is close. It is a close game, so up to you.
could watch for a couple more minutes. I don't know how long this game is.
Okay, well, this game is 40 minutes. It's really close right now. Yeah, we can look. It's totally up to you. Yeah. So
we'll do
okay.
5 more minutes or something. Just see
yeah.
how we close it up, because that's
sure.
That's an area where.
No problem. I mean, basically, what I'm coaching you now is not the jungle, but I'm coaching you like general late game League of Legends.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, you got this. How did you get this? He's just
this game's coming back to me. So them chats, it was Xerath trolling me. So the rest of this game, you're going to see me just ulting
for Xerath.
Yeah, on repeat.
But to be fair, that's actually like what I already said earlier. He's actually your best target to all, anyways. So. Okay.
Yeah, he was calling me an eye and noob.
Yeah.
I was like, but we're in this state. Say me hello. That's for a reason.
Yeah. So in this part of the game, you have two options. I mean, you use your ult to kill Xerath, right? That should give your team an advantage in the right now it's 5v4. But the problem is Ezreal's here and you're here. So this fight, not necessarily an advantage. This could be a 3v3, this could be a 3v4 technically. And you can't help because you don't have ult. So you have to look at the fight and think, do I want to help them? Actually, it looks like they're winning. So no, wait. Yeah, they're winning. So I would have gone here. You look at this big wave right here. You look, Ezreal's here. So this is a very strong macro play that you guys can do. If you guys win this game is yours because Ezreal gets to push this all the way here. You get to push this all the way here. They get to push the enemy can't do anything because I'm assuming they win this, right? Yeah, it looks like they win. Your team wins this. So when you guys win in the late game, like right now, this is considered like mid to late game right now. Then usually you either want to group to take like a big objective like Baron. So this is an option actually, or you want to split. You split when you win because you have more people on the map than they do, right? If you win this, that's 3 of them dead, or maybe I don't think you kill Vex. 2 of them dead. Maybe even if you don't kill Vigo, even if you only kill Urgot, that's 2 dead versus 0 dead. So the enemy has 3 people. Your team has 5 people. That means you can do whatever you want. If you push this, if they send someone to stop you, then your team has more people here. If they send someone to stop Ezreal, your team has more people here. If they send all their people mid, then you and Ezreal take these towers for free. So it basically, late game, when you have more people, it's almost every play is a winning play. But the thing you don't want to do is all group mid. So you want to take this bot while Ezreal takes top. Again, like I said,
that definitely happens a lot. It turns into ARAM after 30 minutes.
Yeah. You don't want ARAM if you're winning. There's another concept where if you're winning super hard, that you can just brute force the mid inhibitor, then you can ARAM. But if you cannot take the inhib, there's no point in ARAM. Do this, especially as Nocturne. Because I mean now you don't have ult, but they're dead. So, but if you have ult, you it's easy for you to fight here, and then if your team fights here, it doesn't take you too long to ult here, right?
Yeah.
So
radius is huge, isn't it, at this point?
Yeah. So definitely want to do that. Okay. I see crab. The problem is this is a big wave. It's gonna crash. So I would have just done this. Then you could do crab, or you could take tower and then crab, or crab then tower. But yeah, go this way. I would have done this. I would have helped this if they needed help, but again, like I said, it doesn't look like they need help. So yeah, they kill one. Yeah, they kill one. So now what are you doing here? Okay, stop doing this. Wait, let me see it actually. Dragon is a minute. You can do this when Dragon's there, or closer, or whatever. Like it's a waste of time. Plus, you give the enemy the chance to kill this ward. Like maybe they'll see it. So just do it when you're gonna do Dragon, or closer to it. Right now it's over a minute, so just save it. Or you can even pink here or something. Because you want the pink in the pit is not as good as you think, or it's usually better in the early game. Early game, it's better because you can sneak it, right? You can solo a dragon. But late game, everyone knows this dragon is up, and they're not farming their lanes anymore in late game. I said 20 minutes. 20 minutes is you don't really care about your camps anymore, and the laners move all around. So if there's a dragon up, everyone knows there's a dragon up, so you're not sneaking it. So you want this to control other areas usually. Like you could put it here, you could put it here, you could put it here. You don't want them to even be near the pit when you do dragon. You want to kill them or get them out. So this doesn't do too much. And then, like I said, you should be taking this, especially since this is the outer turret. It's not hard to take this. And you don't really want to be here because, now it looks fine, but if they engage on you, like if they try to fight you, then you probably die because your team is here. So if they catch you here, you're not going to get help for a while. So don't go here unless you have ult. You don't have ult, so yeah, don't go here. Again, this is what I want you to do. Push this in. It looks like you're fine. Yeah, I think you're worried about your team here. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
The thing is, like, again, like I said, if you don't have ult, you have ult now. But without your ult, you don't really do anything here. Like, you just run at them, right? You're not much of a factor. If you're here, if you were pushing this, you're pressuring the enemy. Like, someone has to stop you. They need to send someone to stop you, or you'll take this, right? So you want someone to stop you. Actually, you want someone to stop you. You can 1v1 almost anyone. Urgot might be a little difficult. Actually, he's 1v1, but Urgot's kind of strong with it. But you can 1v1 almost anyone. Maybe even Urgot. I don't actually know if you beat Urgot here. Yes, you have 2 items, and he only has 1, but Urgot's just kind of strong. But you can 1v1 almost anyone. So if they only beat you if they send 2 people. If they send 2 people, your team takes this.
Yeah.
And if they only send 1, you beat them. If they send no one, you take towers. And if they fight your team here, you ult over to them. So the winning play, regardless of what they do, is you should be here this whole time. Being here does nothing for you. And Nocturne's biggest strength is his ult. That he can be here and he can join the team fight here, like, really easily. So use your strength. Don't be with your team. Most of the time, this is general, right? So general rule is be away from your team because you're Nocturne. Yeah, because you can 1v1 anyone, and because you can join fights really easily anyways. Anyone die? No. Oh, okay. So you definitely want to fight this, where... Okay, Nautilus has no mana, Ezreal's low. It's not, again, it's... I don't know why all your dragons don't look very good for you. Definitely would have looked better if you pushed this in, and if it's not your fault, but they kind of had to recall. They kind of had to recall earlier than this, but that's not your fault. But you could push this at the very least. But yeah, not looking good for you. But again, I would still try this because 3 of you are really strong. It's only your bot lane right now that's weak. And Nautilus is strong regardless. Like, he doesn't need gold, right? He just needs to CC someone. So it's really only your Ezreal that's weak right now. The rest of 4 of you, they're pretty strong. You see, you guys are ahead in gold right now, actually. You're down in dragons, but you have more gold. So this is a misplay by... I'm not going to say you, but like your team. Like, this should... Okay, they don't actually take it. You kill... welcome. I see. So I'm not gonna blame you here, but I'll give you a suggestion. I mean, like, this is understandable, but I could give you a suggestion. Diego's here. Yeah, not looking good for you. It's actually looking not bad for you though. He needs to move. Oh, you already used your spell shield. What did you spell shield?
No idea.
You spell shield. I think just when she autoed you, you spell shielded or something. Because it looks like.
Probably.
Yeah, that's your biggest mistake here. You spell shielded nothing. I think. You kind of need. Yeah, you kind of need it. If you had spell shield, you could spell shield Vex, like when Vex hits you with long range. The other option is you ult right now, and you ult Vex, and then you need, but you kind of need a spell shield because you're going to be in the middle of 3 people. Viego's right here, Xayah's right here, Vex right here. So you go in. Ideally, you have a spell shield. The good thing is Vex does not have fear. Do you know this yellow bar?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when it's full, her next spell fears, but she doesn't have fear, so she's not much of a threat. I mean, she's just damage, no CC. So, you can ideally you have spell shield, but even without spell shield, you can still ult into Vex. You might die. You probably die. I'll be honest. You probably die, but it's better than what this is because when you go here, if he's supposed to move. I'll be honest too. He's supposed to move to help you, but if he doesn't help you, you just die here for free. Like 3 of them, they just kill you here, and then your team is so far from you, right? Your team is here, and Ezreal's low, but your team is here. So same concept. Remember, I was teaching you here. Go where your teammates are. Your teammates were here. Go here so you fight with your team. Same concept here. Here, if you go here, your team is here. They can't help you. So here, if you ult into Vex, you're going this way. Then it's easier for your team to help you here. You have a higher chance of winning. Yeah, I'll admit though, you probably die, but you die for a good cause here. If you go here, you die for nothing. So this is like saying die for a good cause. At least die here. Yeah, and you might not die here. I don't know. Do you die here? Let's see. Actually, do you? It's close. It's close. Okay, you have to flash. And Jack's Wednesday for you anyways. And Arlene still finally comes. Yeah. I think definitely this way though. You lose flash, you don't die. Sometimes, especially late game, flash is almost as good as a kill or almost as good as dying. Because flash can win like team fights, and when we get to late game, team fights are very important, right? Early game flash is not worth that much compared to late game flashes, if that makes sense. Because flash winning a team fight is much more important than just winning like a gank. Like getting one gank off with flash, that's not worth much compared to winning the team fight. Then you get to take towers or take dragon or whatever like that. So you having to flash there is actually a big deal.
I must have a bunch of gold again as well.
Sorry, what did you say?
I must have a bunch of gold again as well.
Oh. See,
yeah.
But also the concept is late game, the gold doesn't mean as much as early game. So like 1300 at 15 minutes is worth way more than 1300 at 24. So
yeah,
I blame you less here now. It's definitely more important. The gold is more important in the earlier game. But you can also notice that I don't know if you noticed, but your red is not actually doing anything. Like look, all those times you're almost dying. The green could definitely help you in these fights.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have ulted the Zerath right there. Let me go back. Because you see all these wards that you have?
Yeah.
4 wards here. So if Zerath was here, the only way his team helps him is if they're here. They can't be here. They have to go through these minions. Like, they can't be here. Maybe technically someone could have been here for like 5 minutes, but most likely not. So you saw Zerath here, just ult him. He has no help. You're not alone. You had some teammates, I think. So let me see right when. Not here, but when he go right here.
Yeah.
Ult him right now. You can 1v1 him. You don't even need your team actually. If you spell shield his stun, he's just dead right here. Now Viego comes, so less likely, but yeah, less likely now. So it's like a few seconds of opportunity that you have to like notice, like take it. Usually you want to go for crab before camps if you can. In this case, this is free crab because you saw all the enemy here. So take the crab first, because if you do this,
is that gold or for visibility?
I'm sorry, what?
Why would you go for the crab? Is it more gold or is that just for visibility?
Oh, technically both. So you see the Baron's up, right? So that would help you defend. Like, they can't really take Baron if you take the crab, but also for gold, because if you take the crab, they don't get the crab. And the crab's in the middle of the map. That means it's easy for both teams to reach crab, right? But Krugs is your Krugs. It's hard for them to take it anyways. So no threat that the enemy takes Krugs, but there's a threat that they take the crab. So take the crab first if you can. But also would be looking here because you have ult, right? You have ult. Your Jax is dead, which is bad, but just look. You have ult and Urgot's here. Let's see. Never mind. I mean, this is maybe you could ult this, but actually, Vex. Again, no fear. This is how you determine do you ult Vex or not. It's does she have fear? If she has no fear, she doesn't really do anything. So
I've definitely never looked out for it. I only knew it once you said it. I've never looked out for that.
Oh yeah. I remember you told me you didn't know what Vex does. Now you know, yeah. So things like that to look for. And remember, she's the AD carry, but I don't recommend ulting her. Remember, because I said she's not ult right now. But I don't know if you know that. You'd have to see it. But if she has ult, it's kind of hard for Nocturne to kill her. So usually not worth it to go for her. So she is the AD carry, but she's like a exception. Like, she's one of the harder AD carries to kill. So go for what you can kill. This is pretty easy. Fair Viego somewhere nearby, but so is your team. Your team is kind of weak, but yeah, I would definitely consider this Vex right here. Late game your ult's pretty short cooldown, right? So if you have all this cooldown, like you can use it just to kill one person or try to kill one person. But I also don't blame you for not going because your team is backing here and stuff. So you should value this. What do you hope to accomplish going this way?
I assume I'm going for Urgot.
Sorry, what did you say?
Maybe, I'm not sure. Am I chasing Urgot or am I trying to get a flank on Sire?
Oh.
Just trying to make sure they're isolated.
Oh, okay. The Urgot play looks okay, but he's kind of leaving. Definitely recommend the blue trinket late game. So if you had blue trinket, you could blue and then see Urgot, and then you can ult him. Or that's kind of why blue's good for Nocturne, at least.
I've never used blue. That makes perfect sense, though.
Yeah. Right, so you can they think they're safe. Like, let's say Zaya's here, she thinks she's safe. You use the blue trinket, and then you can ult her. Like, that's a combo for Nocturne.
That's really good, yeah.
So what I don't like is you're grouping too much. Remember what I said Nocturne likes to do? You could just farm this. You could reach here, right? It's fine. So use your strength. Use your strength.
Yeah, I told you. I just kept going. I know for the rest of the game I'm just going for Zera.
Oh yeah. Luckily that's the right play in this game, so.
Yeah.
Hopefully you go for this. I don't know. No. So this is where you ping this, because when you get a clean ace like that, or almost clean, like Xerath's coming back, but these 4 are dead for so long, 30 seconds. You have time. In all 5 of you, oh not 5, all 4 of you are alive. Like and 4 damage dealers. Like Nautilus doesn't really do damage. You could just go here, take it. But you would have to like start around now. Yeah, you could just take this. So now, you guys, I don't want to say you won, but you're pretty comfortable because Fed Jax, Fed Nocturne, Jax scales better than Urgot. This is even, but you're fed. Remember what I said, Aurelion Soul? When does he become really strong? Around 30 minutes. He kind of just wins the game. We haven't really seen him do much, really, this game, but now is when he's at his strongest point. So you'll probably see him start to do stuff. And your bot lane's losing, fair. It's still, I think they've been losing all game. But really, it's the Aurelion Soul that's you should really feel comfortable with, as well as you two are winning most of the game anyways. So, and we can all see the gold lead. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he just kills 2. Okay. Your comp is also better than theirs. We didn't really talk about that, but late game you also think about like who's better at team fighting. Things like that. Your comp is definitely the better team fighting comp, mainly because Xerath doesn't do anything. So this is the weakness of the Xerath pick now. Remember we said Xerath wins the bot lane early. Hold on, what is this? We said Xerath wins the bot lane early. But what's the weakness of like these kind of supports is late game they don't really do much compared to like a Nautilus. Nautilus is way more useful than a Xerath. But here, you're farming when your team is. What is your team doing? So here, you should definitely not go here. You see this? You should go here. You have ult, right?
Yeah.
But you decide to go to Grom. So this is when you notice that they're fighting, then you come. Like I would recommend you farm down again, but not in this case because they're fighting right now. You see the fight. That's when you want to immediately move and go help them. Oh, you guys win anyways though, so yeah. You guys win anyways, so my advice doesn't help here, but then you got the dragon, and I'd say this game's pretty over. Do you want to still finish?
No, you're right. It's over for now. It's just.
Okay. Hey, no, and to be fair, it wasn't over when I first asked you. It was not. But yeah, now it's pretty. You can see, it's actually Jax who's. I mean, you guys have double. It's like insurance. Like if Jax fails you, that's actually you don't care. You have Aurelion Soul. Like he's still very strong as well, and you're strong yourself. So we don't really care that Ezreal. Even Ezreal's not useless. He'll still do something. And same with Nautilus. So yeah, you guys pretty much got it. Okay, we'll stop the replay here then. Do you have any questions about? This was pretty long.
So no, not really. No, it makes sense. A lot to think about, especially with closing up the game. Like even now, still look, I'm still farming where
Yeah,
towers can be pushed.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I am conscious of keeping my gold up, but I'm not doing it efficiently.
Well, the idea is like, um, that's why I stop, or I change the review style like after 20 minutes, because that's when the game actually changes. So the beginning of the game, like your camps are very important, like even more important than ganks in many cases. And then as you get into like the team fight phase, that's when you don't care about camps anymore. That's when you start looking how to team fight and take towers and things like that. Yeah, so you have to notice when to change your thinking. It's like a mind shift at about 20 minutes. It's a good place to start thinking differently.
Yeah, perfect. No, thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah, no problem.